Okay, sorry about that interruption. Mother Lover for Life, 100% coming to you doing the Native American Oracle cards again. I think we left off on this card, which is the necklace and the belt. 25. And this is external resources such as opportunities or advice that can help. I'm not exactly sure where I had completed reading. I ran out of storage space on my phone, and I had to upload the video and then kind of go from there, delete the video, and then start again. So I apologize for the interruption, but that's just how things are right now. And hopefully you can deal with the interruption, and maybe I won't be as windy next time and try to complete it before the 32 minutes or whatever was up. But anyway, this is the first time I've done these cards, so it's going to take me a little bit longer, and I'm not familiar with them as much as the Sacred Path cards. So thank you for your patience, and if you find this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. This is video part 2, part of the Native American Oracle cards by Laura Chuan, and the Sacred Space spread is the one that I'm doing, and I'm just going to review what cards we've drawn. So the first card is for the collective is the beginning point of the situation, and that was gestation. And then the second card that we drew, so the beginning part of the situation is the collective is going through a gestation period, and 15 is contrast. To remember to look at all things from all sides, and there's two sides of every story, and the benefits and risks in everything that we whatever endeavor we're encountering in our life, and that we can understand, control, and redistribute them for the good of all. So gestation, contrast, and totem. And totem was ideas or items that needed to be released. And that is alliance, I believe. Oh, no. Yeah, the totem, which is, okay, so gestation, contrast. 31 is totem, which is belonging. So letting go of the items or ideas need to be released. Maybe the feelings of belonging or not belonging. Not really knowing where you fit into, groups, or you're uncertain about what actions to take. You have the ability to look at your own totem, acknowledge your core beliefs, and act accordingly. So I have to release the fact, and maybe some of the collective, we have to release the feelings of not belonging. Those feelings of not belonging need to be released, and listen to the internal guidance, support, roots, and family, and long-lasting commitment. So gestation period, contrast, releasing the ideas that we're not safe, that we don't belong, and making a long-lasting commitment to ourselves and the transformation of the gestation period, knowing that I've built up a lot of contrast throughout my life, and as well as the collective, based on the experiences that I've had, some good, some negative, but either way I've learned lessons from them that can help guide me on this journey. Because of the contrast that I've built up, I'm able to find which life situations or experiences that I want to experience, because I built up contrast through knowing where I feel that I belong, and knowing that wherever Great Mystery takes me is where I belong. And the feelings of not belonging need to be released. And so, and then I can tap into the resources and external resources and opportunities or advice that can help me or the collective through this card, which is Necklace, Wampum, 25. So, and that is an alliance. So, gestation contrast, um, releasing the ideas of not belonging, will help me form an alliance, a circle. It's a symbol of life that is the shape. And I'm going through rebirth and transformation and transitioning from one way of thinking, living, doing, and being into a rebirth. So life is a cycle and all are connected. View your enemy as a potential ally and learn to see his flaws as skills. So, alliance, protection, support, and advice from influential people. And the time for that one is Fridays. So I have to understand that myself and the collective are going through life cycles and changes. And this is part of cycles and movement. This is part of the gestation period of rebirth and growing from my sacred heart. And growing from my sacred heart through loving myself and others, through the contrast that I've been through, releasing the feelings of not belonging, knowing who my allies are through an alliance based on knowing that life is a cycle and that we are all connected, and that I can view my frenemy, enemy, or myself as my own enemy as part of this lesson. And that way I can know that my enemy is a potential ally that I can learn from his flaws and skills, and incorporate some of those flaws and skills into my life wherever I deem it necessary, because some of the things that I learned from the people that I despise, some of their behaviors, I still learned from those difficult relationships. So I can use that as the contrast, use the enemies that I've run into along my path that didn't necessarily really want to support me. Their relationships based on selfishness and self-centeredness, and not for the goodness of myself or the whole. And so I'm grateful to know that I am going through this gestation period. I've built up the contrast. I'm releasing the feelings of not belonging. I've built up alliances and know that we are all one and all connected. And I no longer have hatred in my heart for the enemies or the people that, threw logs in my path for me to, hurdle over. And that it was all part of the process and strengthening me to continue building up the stamina and strength that I needed to know myself and know my path, and allow myself to go within, have introspection and goals, and know that I'm being guided by the spirit world. Excuse me, regardless of what others say. So that's how I know I have an alliance with the spirit realm, great mystery, great spirit, my ancestors, and that I have protection and support from them. And I can take advice from influential people that I respect. So I'm grateful for that, because that means that I can remain teachable and open, and allow in the parts of myself that maybe I shunned because of not knowing me. So that's what I get from that card. And that this is part of my life cycle. And deep within my sacred heart, I know that I am connected to all beings, all life forms, and that no one is better or worse than the other. It just is. So I'm grateful for that knowing today, and I am grateful for the ability to be able to share that with you as part of the gestation period, and the process that I'm developing through learning myself and learning new ways of being. So I'm grateful for that. So the last card is the possible evolution of the situation. And this is 2. And this looks like a goose. A goose and icebergs and Seashells. I've never drawn this card yet. So the possible evolution of the situation is card number 2, which is Snow Goose. So love. So this is love. Love. Snow Goose. On a mundane level, the snow goose represents loyalty, fidelity, devotion combined with passionate desire that moves the heart. Deep instincts are nurtured and supported, allowing for intense connections between loved ones. These feelings of connection and safety resonate with the inner spirit and encourage confidence in one's deepest core. The qualities of the snow goose create the perfect environment for transformation. Just as Snow Goose pushes us to connect with our human loves, it also nudges us toward a deeper, closer connection with spirit. Shells are a symbol of fertility and transformation. The message of this card says, make choices based on love and that support loving relationships, both earthly and spiritual. Love, union, connection, devotion, friendship, sexuality, family, tradition. So the time is January, the month of renewal. So that's kind of rings true for me because that's what I've been experiencing in my own personal life and my own transition. That the possible evolution of the situation by growing the spiritual seeds within me, I'm able to have those loving relationships that are based on unity, connection, devotion to something bigger than myself. Friendships that are based on giving without the expectation of receiving. And that know that I have sacred sexuality, and that I'm reserving that for something that is devoted the way that I am in my life, because I'm changing myself. I'm going through renewal. And I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but I'm making choices based on love that support me, my loving relationships, both earthly and spiritual. So when I develop my spiritual seeds within my sacred heart, I'm able to see that in the loving relationships that I'm having in my life through connection, being connected to my spiritual being, connected to my ancestors, and growing my spiritual seeds. And it allows me to deepen and nurture the loving connections that I have within myself, within my friends and family. And I'm grateful for that because I need love in my life. And I think a lot of times I blocked it out because of feelings of unworthiness. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. And sometimes loving relationships were not modeled to me. So, how do you know how to have loving relationships when you don't even have a loving relationship with yourself? And knowing that I am developing these spiritual seeds within my sacred heart during this gestation period, during January, during the renewal, through the contrast that I've built up for what I do and do not want in my life. Knowing that when I build anything that is not based on loving thoughts and intentions, that I will not have a fruitful growth or abundance or a fruitful harvest. And I have to release the feelings of not belonging, because I will be directed spiritually to the people, places, and things that are part of my gestation period contrast, releasing the feelings of not belonging through speaking of feelings of not belonging and speaking that out, that that's how I feel, in order to come to an understanding within myself that I have an alliance with Great Mystery and Great Spirit, my ancestors, that becomes manifest in the physical world when I allow myself to connect to that alliance and know that it's all based on love, loving of the self, and loving of others, without expectation, and accepting myself and others as they are, because we're all growing if we choose to. So I'm grateful for the evolution of this possible situation, because I have been struggling, releasing, purging, and having to surrender. and know that the time that I've taken to go within and introspect and goal has not been wasted time, and not getting stuck in the depression of the isolation and feeling of not belonging. So the possible evolution of this situation is love, the snow goose. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to be able to continue to uh, nurture those spiritual seeds through this gestational period, and know that come spring, those green little parts of that seed are going to sprout through the soil, metaphorically, if that makes sense to you all. So beginning of the situation is gestation. Then we had contrast, resources available that should not be wasted. So contrast of the things I do and do not want in my life. um, I do not waste those loving relationships and loving thoughts from others and to others. I communicate them because I know what it's like to not have that. And so I treasure those things and friendships within my life and myself right now. In order to be a good friend, I had to be a good friend to myself. So I'm releasing those feelings of not belonging, building up forming an alliance within myself, spirit, and the physical world, so that I can continue to um, reap a harvest of love, and that it just cycles through and it continues to cycle and go back. I guess in the figure eight, the infinity symbol, it goes from the spirit to the physical, and I'm giving love, and so I receive love. If I continue to give love, then that's what I receive. Because what you give, you will attain. So, and that was something that was very important for me during this transformation and evolution of my spiritual self, was the fact that I had to give love to myself and come from a loving place in order to receive love. Um, and I think maybe I had some fears underlying subconsciously about how to receive love, who to receive love from. And I'm developing boundaries, healthy boundaries, which is something that's new for me. And uh, in order to admit that to myself, I had to know that forgiveness is a gift that I give to myself. So when I can forgive myself, then I can forgive others for transgressions, or, and then release that resentment so that I can come from a loving, understanding place, because that's what Spirit's telling me to do. So I'm grateful for that message today. I like this sacred space spread. I think it was a beautiful card spread. The cards are really cool, and I've enjoyed this learning experience, and I hope that you do too. And thank you for tuning into my channel. Please like, subscribe, and share. Give me a thumbs up if you found this Oracle card deck and reading helpful for you. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. And I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day. And I'm going to go out and take a walk in nature and get some fresh air and exercise. And I hope that you do something that makes your heart smile. That's what I'm doing. And I hope that you can find some peace and love throughout your day. Peace. Mother Lover out. Have a good day.